You hear it?
Yes,
Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to hear me today too.
that would be ideal.
Possibly. No, no promises.
Yeah, my voice was like coming in loud and clear last episode. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
See, but I still can't hear.
What's
I
up?
can't hear me. Can you hear the buzz?
No, but I can hear you in my headphone.
Check, check. Oh, Jesus criminy. Now I can.
Coming
Now,
in
oh
hot.
my God. What did I do?
I don't know. I like it. Leave
Okay,
it.
leave
Leave
it.
it.
Oh, okay. 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 Okay, last episode, I think my sound was coming through. I can hear myself so intensely right now. I I didn't set up my I didn't set up the microphones correctly, so all of my sound was just the sound that was being produced by the computer. So hopefully it's a little better now. I can actually hear myself breathing through the headphones, so maybe it will be too loud today, and we'll
You're
just
like my conscience. You're like the voice, the inner voice.
be nice to
Be
yourself,
nice to
Missy.
yourself. Don't call yourself a torta.
No torta talk
No
here.
torta.
We don't do that around here. We enjoy ourselves. We love ourselves. Está bien. Está bien.
What's
Okay.
up?
So I think the biggest thing on the platter of chaos today is that we have a little friend in the back.
We sure do.
And your eyeballs are so good, and I'm so happy that we have such a logical brain out of yours because I saw part of what Missy saw yesterday, and I was like, oh, I guess we just put trash back there and it's fine. And I just went on with my merry way. But you can set the stage because you're the one that really found what happened.
Well, what had happened was I went back there to scooch something over to make room for a new rack or a shelf that we're going
Mhm.
to put back there. And we have these big rolls of white paper that we use for photo shoots to put as the background. And I like shifted it over, and there were all these little confetti shards. And I lift up the thing, and a whole mess of them just dumps on the ground. And it is a legit rat nest,
Hmm.
carefully curated over, I don't I don't know how long it took him to do this, but the amount of work there was impressive.
Yeah.
So then I start moving these around, and they have just moved in. We have located a spot against the wall where they have eaten away with their little rat pink
Mm.
mouths
Could
at the base molding
that I put my blood, sweat, and freaking tears
with
into
her
that.
own two hands, bless her heart, on the ground. A craftswoman putting this up. They've eaten it away. Because when I was cleaning up yesterday, I noticed little specks of black, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the
Mm-hmm.
black?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now today, when the guys come over to take a look, oh, that's the black. They actually ate away at the wall. Like these small little creatures can be so
So
destructive.
destructive, like termites and like beavers.
Yeah.
Do you know how destructive beavers are?
Oh, beaver. Yeah. When they put their mind to something, beavers can really, really
Jeez.
tear the house down.
There's a beaver in my animal deck.
What does it mean if you pull the beaver card?
That you're a hard worker, that you don't start your own tasks, but when you do start, you like work diligently for the long haul until the project is complete. And I
Okay.
think it has something to do about being like a good family person too, like you provide a home and blah blah blah.
Do you remember on Full House, Adam was doing this week for some reason? Dave Goulier, Uncle, the blonde one,
Mm-hmm. Oh no, not Jesse.
Uncle, the one who was with Alanis Morissette. I don't know his
Mm-hmm.
name. Do you remember he had that character, the woodchuck?
Yes.
And he'd be like, "Is it made of
I
wood?"
hated that. Did you like it? Did you think it was fun? It was the worst.
No, their whole situation was very troublesome. But anyways, that just made me think of the woodchuck
They,
chuck thing because then we kept doing it over and over compulsively.
they made it work though there at the Full House.
They did. They got by.
Yeah.
They got by.
Jesse and
Hmm. Sound off in the comment. Jesse. What was the dad's name? Hank?
No.
Oh,
Paul.
Paul?
All of them are
The
incorrect.
Tanners?
Yeah, Jess. Oh no, I only could do Jess.
I can only remember Jesse.
Okay.
One,
You
the
know,
one with Swagger, the
oh,
Sigma.
oh, I loved him. Full House. Hold
But
on.
then he had his girlfriend, Lori Loughlin,
Mm-hmm.
who happens to be in your man's favorite movie that we are going to go see together.
Yep.
Rad,
Rad.
the BMX movie.
I think that was Steve's, like, Steve doesn't talk much about chicks or anything like that. But
Oh, yeah.
he did say that
He fancied her
he had a hankering for her.
for Lori Loughlin,
Yes. Okay, but
the convict, by
do
the
you
way.
think, oh, Danny Tanner,
Danny.
Jesse Katsalopoulos,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Katsopoulos,
Yeah, he was like Greek or something.
Stephanie Tanner, Dave Cooley, Joey Gladstone,
Do you know who Adam liked?
DJ.
Yes.
Of course, everybody liked DJ. I think I like DJ. I would have liked Mary Kate and Ashley, but they were like little pipsqueaks, little
That
tiny.
was my first exposure to twins, and I was like, I'm sorry, there's two of them? I was like, but they look the same, you understand?
Like identical. I
Yeah.
used to work so hard to try and find distinguishing characteristics of them so I could be
Mm-mm.
like, oh no, that's Mary Kate. Oh no,
Mm-mm.
that's Ashley. Nope.
Mm-mm.
I appreciated it when Mary Kate did her hair red.
Well, they're actually not identical. They're fraternal twins
I didn't know that.
that look exactly alike.
Could have fooled me.
I think that's true. I hope I didn't make that. I might have made it wrong. I know one's a lot taller than the other one.
I can Google it later.
I think MK is short.
I think they're both pipsqueaks. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're both really tiny.
Well, their growth probably was stunted from ripping all those heaters along the way.
Good
Those two ladies
chances.
are always just ripping and I think they smoke like Marlboro Reds.
Yeah, they need to. That's how they cope with being childhood actors.
100%.
Your mic's leaning a little bit. It's got a gangster lean down at the connection point. But
I think I thought that was
go to the very bottom part.
a joint
Yeah.
that could
And,
move.
and you don't have to worry about it now.
Oh,
Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
lefty.
Do you think that there's any chance that they're not rats in the back, but they're actually like little mice or something?
No, they're dirty rats. They're pack rats. They make
How do you
those
know
nests.
that?
Because that's what they do in our backyard. That's why we have to
Oh.
clear the bush. The bushes.
Oh.
Because they make these nests. It's their MO. It's their signature, if you will.
It's kind of like I think I've even talked about this on the podcast before. Like, four agreements, don't take anything personally. That's one of them. And I don't. All humans, I take zero things personally. I work really, really hard to. But like the birds that peck at our roof,
The woodpeckers.
we had a leak, and you had a leak.
Yep.
And it's because of those dang birds
Mhm.
pecking at our roof and creating these holes. So now we have freaking leaks in our
Yeah,
leaks in our
they're destructive vandals.
yeah, they are. But like I take this personally as well, these rats.
I know.
Like why can't I let why do I let humans slide, but I can't let these
Is there an
animals slide?
animal card for a rat? Like can you pull a rat card?
Not in my deck. There might be a mouse. I think there's a mouse.
Mm. These
But
are pack rats
but
for
in the
sure.
Chinese calendar, the Chinese whatever,
Well, I was born in the year of the rat.
same. Are we we're 84 babies?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, maybe just our creatures are calling us, but they need to stay outside, to say the least, because
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
Well, and the guys in the meantime came in and they put down some traps.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so relieved this morning when I came in and the traps were empty and there wasn't a little squirming body
I don't know what I would do if that happened.
glued to it. Oh, glue traps are the worst. So our pest control people at our rental house out here when we first moved put glue traps like on either side of our garage door.
Mm-hmm.
And one time a snake was on it
Oh my God.
and it was stuck and it was like a small little like snake and it was clearly alive.
Yeah.
And so here I am faced with this conundrum.
Mhm.
What do I do? Do I let it just suffer?
Right.
Do I end its life? And so I had the best intentions and I was really trying to do right by the snake.
Mm-hmm.
And what I ended up doing is probably the worst, most horrific thing you could probably do.
Cut it in half
No, because I didn't have the balls to chop it up.
by accident.
I say, what do you think I did to end its misery?
maybe poison it, put it in a jar.
Close. I decided I would drown it. So I filled a bucket with water and I dropped it in. Because I'm thinking, like, okay, well, how long can an animal hold? Turns out snakes can hold their breath a really long
Oh
time.
yeah. Yeah, they can swim. We've seen them in the lake before.
It was like an hour, and I'm like, I've made a mistake here, but I was gonna reach into the bucket.
Right, of
Like
course.
I should have
So you put the whole sticky thing in there.
just
Oh, I could see that being a
I was
valid
like,
way to
night
do it.
night, like you're gonna,
Yeah.
you're exhausted from the
R.I.P.
struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, but it went on and on and on and on, and I felt horrible about it.
Oh
But I
my
mean, like,
gosh.
lessons learned. Hopefully I'm never in the position to like need to drown a snake again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have visitors. Be right back.
On me again.
Sweet.
Hopefully. Hopefully this. Oh yeah. This recording. Okay. Beautiful. This was a good problem to have, having people actually come into GSOL.
Yeah, I love that.
Works, but here's the pickle. What were we talking about before that?
I think it was my snake murder
Oh, that's right.
where we left off.
Yes. The old snake murder.
So don't try and drown a snake is the moral of the story. I should have just stepped my pee up and smashed its head.
Oh.
But like the violent, yeah,
Do you
it
know
was
it's
too much.
rubbery? Like if you cut it in half, it's very rubbery, so you really kind of have to sew into it.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to do that.
I don't blame
So,
you.
I made the choice I had and it is what it is. But
Right.
hopefully he forgave me.
Yeah. You just say RIP. It's part of your dharma.
R.I.P. man.
Our adios, muchacho. Maybe that's what we need to do is we need to let a couple snakes loose over here.
For
I
sure.
would rather have a snake in here than a mouse
Really?
or a rat. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe we need a cat.
Oh, little feral
A
cat,
little barn cat, if you will.
spirit animal.
Yeah,
I wonder
come
if
in here
that,
and clean it out.
hopefully that owl wouldn't get it. Have you seen that owl that looms around here?
Yes.
Ooh,
There's lots of
ooh.
wildlife here up on the Bahada.
Leave it to Missy to come up with any random word for the day. And the podcast word of the pod is Bahada.
Bahada, it's where we live. It's like the desert area by a mountain.
How do you spell it?
I think it's Bajada. Bahada?
If you would have asked me that question, I would have said, you don't spell it, son, you eat it. Ba-dum-bum.
Bahada, yeah, for sure. Bahada can refer to a broad slope of debris at the base of a mountain. That's a Spanish word. Hold on, there must be an old. Anyways,
Use that, integrate it into your vocabulary. It'll like
take
really.
it, add it to the mix.
So I think that we've handled the rat situation pretty well, but hopefully, and it doesn't seem as though they enjoy yoga pants, and so that's a good thing. Just leave
Yeah.
the yoga pants alone.
Whatever
Mine,
you do, leave the yoga pants alone.
please. Because then I'm really going to take it personally. And then I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to get arsenic and I'm
Hmm.
going to get gnarly with these MFers.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I think the guys are gonna seal it up right now back there, and hopefully that'll be that, but you hate to see it.
Oof. I'll go feral on these mother effers. Okay. So another thing I wanted to talk about today, we're going to try and like kind of hone in on these podcasts so they're just not so haphazard, but I mean we'll figure out that as we go. But another thing that we wanted to chat about is like why can't we just normalize crazy days? Why can't we normalize, as we like to call it, the cuckoo? Because I think more times than not I feel cuckoo rather than good. Like I'm talking myself off this ledge more times than I'm like just tiptoeing through the daisies. I get to the daisies and it's a beautiful place to be,
Yeah.
but it takes me a little bit. What's your take on normalizing the cuckoo? Cuckoo.
Cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah, yes, we have to because it's not real to not be there most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have this conversation with myself frequently because we're always inundated with the right way to do all these
Mm-hmm.
things.
Oh, I like that.
And it's like, why are we even having this conversation? The right way to parent. Don't say this to your kid because then you don't want to make them feel, and it's like
Right.
by following all these ever-changing new, protocols, ways of doing things,
Mm-hmm.
you're always gonna be falling short. And you're always like, what are you trying to teach your kids
Mm-hmm.
then?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're treating them perfectly to release them into an imperfect world, and it
Right.
doesn't add up like up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the way. So I think that you should just do the best you can
Right.
and try and take good care of them.
Right.
But if you're a little cuckoo and a little nuts and you need to yell sometimes, or you cry, or you don't do the right thing, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you say, like, sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you right then,
Right.
or maybe you should have.
Right.
Sometimes if you yell, you don't need to apologize because
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But this always like, oh, no, you got to do it this way.
Uh-huh.
Instead of saying this to them, say it in this way. It's like,
Right. Right. Right.
why?
Right.
People aren't going to do that when they're out in the world. And you know who ends up being like a coddled little whatever. And then they graduate college, they go out, they move back home with mom and dad
Right. Right. Right.
because they can't hack it.
They can't hack it. Yep. There has to be like a balance between gentle parenting. I do believe that there needs to be a shift where you are mindful of your kid and how you're speaking to them and
Hmm.
like and their sensitivities and all that. Like I firm believer and I'll stand on that pulpit till the day I die. But
Hmm.
also like they can't be little bitches.
Hmm.
Like I'm not raising bitches. They're and you can see like when I got out of recovery, that was a main focus. And it was probably somebody that told me this, thank God, that said like you cannot like for one, you can't make up for lost time. Like with Sawyer and like parenting him, like I just wanted to like just give him all this love and make things so much easier for him because, even though he was a baby, like he had a tough go of it for
Hmm.
a little bit. But um in the same regard, like I have to, we have to make them fully functioning, tough adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to come at my kids with the first, I love you no matter what.
Right.
But second of all, I'm going to be honest with you.
Right.
And if you're not good at something, or if you screwed up or you did bad,
Mm-hmm.
that's all right because people do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna like not say what happened.
Right.
You need to be
Mm-hmm.
able to receive constructive
Agreed.
feedback,
Yeah.
and you're not always going to be great
Mm-hmm.
at things, and that's fine.
Right.
But I'm not just going to blow smoke up their little,
No.
because I don't want to make them question or try harder or think critically about what they want or how they behave.
Mm-hmm. So we're focusing really on like how the cuckoos of parenting. What else makes you cuckoo?
What else makes me cuckoo with parenting?
Or no, just in life.
Oh, in life?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mostly just always being, and I do it to myself, just exposed to newer and better all the time. Newer and better
Great
way to
point.
this, newer and better this. Well, don't eat that now. Eat this. How you
Totally.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And I feel like the constant pursuit of trying to do things the best way
Mm-hmm.
strips the joy out of everything.
Yeah. Best way, the right way, the perfect way.
Yes.
Yes,
And
good point.
I really don't want to be party to that
Mm-hmm.
because it's like you're chasing something
Right.
that's marketed to you and put out to get you to bite this never-ending carrot. You're never going to catch it.
Right.
And it's like, you need to block that out and
Mm-hmm.
focus on what you really like
Mm-hmm.
and not just do stuff because it's the best new healthy thing or it's the workout craze.
Totally.
You have to figure out what works for you, regardless of what other people think,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I always post stuff about like Diet Coke and this and that or whatever because
Uh-huh.
I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of being made to feel bad for stuff that I don't think is going to ultimately matter. Like, you
Yeah.
can get killed walking your doggy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I want a Diet Coke, I'm going to drink it.
Right.
And I don't care.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. I couldn't agree more.
It's just to me in the grand scheme of things, it's like it's a gamble I'm willing to take. Like,
Right.
like, will I let my kids pretty much eat whatever they want? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I also have healthy stuff and be like, no, you can't have another one of those because you've had ice cream once today already? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not like psychotic about it
100%.
because I don't want them thinking about food that much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want them to eat when they're hungry and what sounds good.
Yeah.
Because why? Like they're both fine and healthy.
Right.
Why would I make it a thing if it doesn't need to be a thing?
Yeah.
And I think that's how we plant seeds in our kids that
Hmm.
don't need to be there.
Right. Yeah, I agree. There was a doctor when Sawyer was little and he wasn't eating and all the stress and all the da, 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 and this doctor told me he's like, I've never seen a kid starve themselves.
Right.
He's gonna be okay. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and but those little tidbits like carry through. Same thing like my kids won't eat, Willa eats broccoli, but that's the only vegetable that they eat. I'm
Yeah.
not going to make myself a fucking crazy person because my kids won't eat spinach or
Right.
like salads
Right.
or like it's 100%. It is okay.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love,
so glad we're on the same page with that kind of thing because whenever we hang out, it's not like, oh, she's gonna go to Missy's and eat the junk.
right,
We
right.
just don't really.
It's so silly and have like pleasures in life. Like my kids are gonna eat cupcakes and they're gonna eat candy and not a lot and probably not before dinner. However, but it's like let's have pleasures in life. And I feel
Mhm.
like all of these like the diet fads and the things that you were talking on, like I'm a broken record, are so fear-based.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's what marketing is honing in on people's fears,
Mhm.
right? And so with Diesel and with the Nut Farm and all of this, I hope that we're promoting something that's like, don't do this, or I don't want to promote fear-based things. I want to promote like this is how great you can feel if you love
Mhm.
yourself. This is how great you can feel if like you surrender for one moment and give yourself a freaking break. Like it's the
Mhm.
opposite of fear mongering and all love,
It's
right?
okay to let your kids buy lunch. It's okay to send your kids with something that's pre-packaged.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and this is another issue I had with the Meghan Markle show, which we watched.
Mm-hmm.
I think we haven't shared our feedback on that quite yet.
Oh, yeah, we haven't. Let's do that.
The whole need to prepare things at home that are the amount of work it takes
Mm-hmm.
to do something
Right.
when you could just simply buy it
Mm-hmm. It's a full-time
is
job. You
is
can't do it.
crazy to me. Like she made
Yeah.
homemade dog
Right.
biscuits.
It's not real. It's great. Like, oh, it's a really fun thing if you can, if like you wanted, but like for the average mom,
Hmm.
s- especially for us, like we're working moms, we're trying to do it all. Like, I'm not making a dog biscuit.
Right. And at no point in watching, I only made it through the first episode and I don't have plans to watch any of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Mindy Kaling one just because
Mm-hmm.
of the Sussex thing.
Right.
But
Right.
I
That was
could
intense.
right. I could not relate to her at all. And the whole time I was just like watching, who is this person?
Right.
Really? What is she about?
Yeah.
She's here making dumb stuff in a house she doesn't live in
She's a robot.
with it's so weird, Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, I was just like, what are we doing? Like, our guests need to be greeted with, no, they fucking don't.
Right.
No, they don't.
Right.
Stop putting pressure on yourself to do all of these things.
Yeah, it's okay.
Unless, and here's my caveat,
Mm-hmm.
unless you enjoy it.
Right. Me
If you
too.
enjoy doing these things, and she says she does,
Mm-hmm.
which, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then rock on.
Right.
But, a lot of times there's
The
guilty
pressure to do
messaging
it.
around it.
Yes. Like
Like,
the pressure to do that. And if you don't have a chocolate on your guest pillows or fucking Epsom homemade Epsom salt made, then you're
mhm,
failing and you're not doing it right. And my this means a lot to me because Nancy and Anne
mhm.
are two, they're on Steve's side of the family, my sister-in-law and my mom-in-law, and they're the most amazing humans on the whole planet. And they are
They're
event
fantastic.
people. Like they do it up, they do it right.
Mhm,
They when they host, they really do it right. But they always talk about how stressful it is.
mhm,
And then they'll come over to my house, and I've made it a point to take the cuckoo out of that because
mhm,
that, I mean, hosting and being worried about all those things, it just drives me crazy and makes me be a person I don't like to be.
mm,
So I chill and I do things easy and I let people like, oh, where's this? And we'll go get a drink together. I'll offer drinks.
mhm,
It's just very, very chill. And so Nancy has said to me, like, you're always so calm on days that you host. Like, what do you do? I admire that. And I'm like,
mhm.
oh, thank you. I work really, really hard to get to the point where I can be calm
Yeah,
on these days.
yeah,
Because why would I not? I want to enjoy my family as well. Like,
yeah.
why would I just be a crazy person running around like a lunatic?
Mhm. I've had to learn that one the hard way, especially with holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
And I do want to give myself a slap on the back for this holiday season. I made it a point to only do the things that were going to be fun and that we would enjoy
Yeah.
and not go crazy with trying to make everything perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I mean, was it still a lot? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was a little better
Mm-hmm.
than before. And like, but when the time, the night came and the kids went to bed and Peyton's in the other room, so I can't go into too much detail.
Mm-hmm.
But we just kind of like, it is what it is. We're gonna enjoy our Christmas Eve
Right.
and not staying up till 2 in the morning, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear
Um,
that.
so yeah, it's just the constant flood of newer, better hacks,
Yeah.
health hacks,
Yeah.
this and that. Like I don't care and I don't want to hear about them. And I'm just kind of like bored and my word disenchanted with it all.
Yeah. No more cuckoo.
No more cuckoo.
Hands
And
in.
normalize not getting into the rat race. Normalize say opting out.
Right.
No thanks.
Yeah. And then the
Does
days
my
that
kid
you
have a fruit by the foot? Yes, they do.
and the days that you do feel crazy, those get to be normal too. Like you
Hmm.
can, I feel crazy on days where I'm like, my logical brain's like, Greg, you are so fine. There's everything is tip-top shape in your life. Everything is okay. But I feel crazy because of the collective world is nuts and I absorb that energy. So it's okay to feel off. It's okay to know why you feel like a crazy person. And so when you feel those days or when you feel those times, you just nurture yourself a little bit more gentleness, a little bit slower movements. Put your hands on your heart and tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're okay and all that good stuff. Because it's all normal and it's
Yeah.
all okay.
Yeah.
And we can chill the frick out
Yeah.
on the next best thing, the next right thing. I love that you brought that up. That's so good.
It really bugs me.
Because I mean that is marketing. As much as I love marketing and as much as I love making content and all of that fun stuff, like it is obnoxious how it's like the we don't need to go into it again, but all the different like if you look back in your life, how many like there was keto, there was just all the protein,
Yeah,
there
I was
was
just
like
thinking that
there's so many different things and then it will circle back
you're
around.
not you're da, da, da. You need to cut back, you need to count your macro. Oh, you're not eating enough.
Right.
That's why you're not losing weight.
Right, right, right.
It's
Let's just
it's
cool
all the
it.
mixed messaging.
Right.
And it's a huge industry. I mean, the health and wellness industry is
Bajillions of dollars.
monstrous.
Right.
So I think our message, and dare I say the message from G Soul,
Mm-hmm.
is to do what makes you feel good
Mm-hmm.
and happy.
Yes. And if it doesn't make you feel good and it doesn't make you happy, don't freaking do
Especially when it
it.
comes to exercise.
Yeah. Agreed.
Nothing's worse than going to a class or doing a type of exercise where you just dread it and you slog through. Like
Right.
maybe just find something that's a teensy bit more fun for you to do and like do more of that.
Yeah. Or how about a teensy bit easier? Like back
Yeah,
in the day, I would like sprint on the treadmill and I would come out just sopping wet. And even
right.
even hot yoga, as much as I love hot yoga, I do it
Mhm.
in moderation. I went from like doing it 7 days a week to doing it 1 day a week.
Yeah,
And now I walk
right.
and I do one yoga class a week, maybe.
Yeah,
Been out of the game on that one a little bit, but
yeah.
anyways. Okay. The other
That's enough
thing,
of that.
on a lighter side slash maybe not on a lighter side, old
Oh my God,
The old
Neo.
rapper.
Yeah.
Um, him and his ladies have just come out and talked about their polyamorous relationship. There's four girlfriends, and
Hmm.
they say, we're all happy here.
That's not true. False.
Oh my gosh. How these dudes, let's just start here. Like, how did dudes, for one, get that many chicks to be on board? Like even in cults and like rappers and
It takes a certain personality. It takes like a like a megalomaniac, like a narcissist, like a charming narcissist.
right. Like I think if I tried to really pursue and I pretty much get what I want, I accomplish. But if I tried to go out there and get four dudes to be my boyfriend, all this like that, I don't think that I'm that charming.
Well, it would depend on what you were wearing that day. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Um,
What a sick,
no, the
sick thought.
dynamic doesn't typically work with a woman sharing
Oh,
or
that
a
doesn't
woman
happen.
having multiple male partners. There, it's
Hmm.
out there, but I think it's the exception
More the opposite, of
for
course.
many reasons. I mean, I think like sheer libido of a
Mm.
female versus male
Hmm. Hmm.
t typically.
Yeah.
Um, and then the male like desire to be the main, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
one person and not shit. Yeah, it just
The
doesn't.
ego, the
And
masculinity, the all
yeah,
that.
and I feel like for most women, like the desire to have that situation is not there.
Yeah.
Like what woman would,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's just not like, no.
So that quote is, that quote is everywhere. Like, and we're all happy here. And I'm like, but are you? Like, how?
If their motivations and desires for the relationship are not based in love, then I would say it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an arrangement
Mm-hmm.
where you know you're one of a few, you
Mm-hmm.
don't expect to have one-on-one quality time, you want to just get to go to the parties and you
Mm-hmm.
want to do the thing,
Right.
and you're working on promoting yourself and
Mm-hmm.
your career,
Right.
I could see you being fine.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you love Neo
Mm-hmm.
and want to boo down with Neo,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Or maybe then the ones that want to do that, they're just like waiting for waiting for the others to drop out.
Because
And
if they're
for
not happy, what choice do you have? Okay, bye.
yeah, right.
You know?
They're waiting for Neo to just see the real them and only pick them or something along
No,
those
it's the
lines.
classic Holly Madison and Hugh Hefner thing. Like
Yeah.
she, you know,
Yeah.
went through a lot and stood by his side for a lot. And
Hmm.
she, you hear her talk now and she's like, it was demented.
Right.
She's
I'm
like,
happy to hear her say that
oh, for
too.
sure. I listened to her podcast with Bridget Markart, The Girls
Hmm.
Next Level.
Yes.
And I love them just going into every episode and like spilling tea behind what was going on when they were filming that and all the dynamics and background stuff
Yeah.
and that was a really sick situation and they both now are like
And it just went on for years and years and years and
years.
years and years
I
and
think
years.
she was with him for like 6 or 7 years or something like
Hmm.
that.
It's so funny. Like, I'm not a jealous human being.
Hmm.
Like, I don't, I don't have that. But the idea of Steve being with anybody else
Right.
is like a joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's an absolute
Oh,
joke.
I am a jealous
Right.
monster. Okay.
I love that you
Like,
openly can be so like vulnerable and open about that. Because
oh, there's no hiding it.
most jealous chicks are like, I'm not jealous.
No, I ain't got a
Does
lot
that
of
mean that
kick.
I'm jealous? I'm really
No,
not.
you're not though. Um, but I am. And Adam always laughs so hard. He's like, girl, ain't nobody coming for this. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I just am.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That is
What's
what it
mine is
is. It
mine.
is what it is.
Hmm.
So
But that's got to make him sometimes feel a little bit good that you like
I
ride
think
for
it
him
does.
so
He
hard.
mostly like laughs,
Hmm.
but I do.
Yeah.
I ride hard for my man. It's good, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it is. It is
And not
very,
that he
very
ever
good.
like gives me any reason to be jealous.
Hmm.
But sometimes,
It's just that Cap energy,
yeah.
that Capricorn vibe.
Yeah. Big cap energy.
Big Cap.
No cap. No capping. Who are we talking about capping with?
I don't know if it
Oh,
was.
I had to explain to my teacher, Colleen.
Oh.
We were translate. Okay, this is lame, but I'm just gonna go into it because this really happened. I thought this conversation was with you, but it turns out it was with Amy and my teacher, Colleen. Shout out to Dr. Colleen Darnell,
We'll share her
my
IG.
first and original Egyptology teacher who got me super into it before I applied and got into Manchester. I decided to take another language course with her because nobody teaches the language like her. She's
Mm-hmm.
taught me everything I know about the language and she's amazing. So we're in this class right now called Tomb of Paheri and we're reading all the tomb inscriptions. And there's this one really funny inscription where he's like trying to give her something to drink, and he's like, "Here, drink until drunkenness, enjoy a holiday." And he's like, and don't listen to what your friend says. Don't pretend to be tired. I mean it, or something like that. And so we were saying like, what that could mean in like today's language, and
Mm-hmm.
and it came up. We're like, no cap. She's like, huh?
Oh.
We're like, oh, like cap, like capping.
Hmm.
And she's so funny. She's like, "Oh, I've never heard that. I wonder where that originated, what root that came from."
Oh my
We're like,
gosh.
"Oh, I don't know."
It's slang kid. That's
Yeah,
like lying,
but she's
right?
like thinking like she could trace it back to like
Gosh.
a Latin root or something. And we're
Oh,
like, "Oh no, I
jeez.
don't know what it's just something the kids say."
Deep
We
thinker.
were like, "You better drink. Don't pretend to be tired. No cap." And
No.
we were cracking up. She was
Mm.
gracious enough to laugh at us.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny though.
I love those deep thinkers. I feel like that's a lot of this stuff. If like childhood trauma or something comes up, I'm like, where does that come from? Like even
Yeah.
with your jealousy, I'm like, where is that from? Like why does that hit? And
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's like, it's just what it is.
Yeah, I'm just a jealous
We
person.
just don't need to dig into
But it's
everything.
only of that kind of thing. I'm not jealous of other stuff. Like
Hmm.
when somebody, like if you get a new purse,
Hmm.
I'm not like, "Oh, I
What
wish I
about,
had that new purse." I'm like, I love that you have a really cute purse.
right? Maybe it's just protective. Maybe it's just protective of what you,
Maybe it is.
yeah. Because I don't like when I look at you, I do not see a jealous human being.
No, and I
No.
mean, like at this point, it's kind of a little bit, because
Yeah.
it's fun. It's a fun little banter
Right.
that we
Right.
do. But anyways, enough about my jealousy. But
Okay.
no, I think that they're lying or
Yeah.
they don't care about him.
Or it's a show and it's all ploy and it's all the stuff that we
As
go
long
into
as
all
they're
the
all
time.
consenting adults,
Yeah.
they can do whatever
Right.
freak show they want.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah,
Keep going, Neo. As
you
long
do
as it's
you
consenting
and
and
all your
fun.
ladies.
And then last thing, we barely have time for this. However, let's do it.
Okay.
Kylie and Timothy. Maybe we even like
Timothy.
we start it and then we finish it next episode
Okay.
because
I don't
my
think we've discussed this at all
mm-mm.
off.
I kind of love them.
Yeah.
The last the
Sorry, I keep burping because I have this LaCroix.
oh, I thought you were laughing that I would just had this
Oh.
a stutter. Um, but the last thing that they were filmed doing or the media put out was them at some tennis tournament, and Kylie's like all up in his grill, and he doesn't look super into it. And I'm wondering, and even at the Grammys, like maybe it's just because he's the aloof partner,
I
and
have a take.
let's give it.
I have a take.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that initially he was probably the pursuer,
Hmm.
maybe, because she seemed like this like unattainable gem.
Right.
And she probably was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
He's got a weird
Yeah,
mustache.
I don't know. He's kind of like scrawny and I don't know, weird. He's
Hmm.
weird.
Hmm.
And then she dated him and ended up really liking him.
Yeah.
Despite herself, she
Hmm.
was like, "Ooh, I like this little weirdo, you
Hmm.
know?"
Hmm.
And then he kind of popped off with this Bob Dylan movie and all of his nominations and all these things. And then she's like, "Oh, snap. Like, he's a big deal."
Right.
And then she probably liked him more.
Yeah.
And now he's like, "Okay, well, I got her.
Yep. She's a human. Rats.
She's a person. Not a lot there, probably, but she's really famous, and I don't
Oh.
want to do if we break up, the publicity. She's got kids and stuff. This is way bigger of a deal than I thought. I immediately regret this decision.
Starting to feel smothered.
Starting to feel a little smothered.
Well, that makes me a little
And
sad.
she's probably so into herself, she doesn't even realize that he's like,
Drifting away.
yup. That's my take.
I agree with everything until the end. I think she does feel it.
You do? And she's like doubling down.
And she's like, oh, crap, 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 crap. What do maybe
Yeah.
doubling down, maybe just like, I don't know. But I'm sure if he's retreating, she knows she feels it.
I don't know.
I mean,
I could be wrong. Maybe
she
he's
just
really into her.
puts her boobs in his face a little bit longer and he's like, all right, I'll be here for another couple
Oh,
months.
yeah, those things are always out on display.
She's hot. I think that she's so cute.
She's gorgeous and she's funny and stuff, but like I don't know that any of her past relationships have seemed all that grown up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair.
So if you haven't been in a real committed, like serious relationship, and I don't know that she really has, not even with the kid's dad,
Travis, isn't that the dad?
Travis
Travis Scott.
Scott. Um, I don't know. Then
Hmm.
you don't have to give what it
Hmm.
takes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it all just seemed like it was pretty superficial in the past. So if Timothée is really deep and looking for a, It
He's
might not.
young too, though.
How old is he?
I don't
They're
know.
both young.
Mm-hmm.
20
But
something.
he's a young one, like young, no kids. I feel like young with kids is like you add 10 years to your life.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I've never seen them out like with her kids or
Mm-hmm.
it's only just them and it seems very like showy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? We'll keep our finger on the
I don't
pulse.
know what happened with Kendall and Devin Booker.
Oh, don't get me started on
I love
this.
them. I ship really hard for them.
Loved them.
I know. I like Kendall.
Loved them. I'm sure it was just because they never saw each other and like,
She does work. She works a lot.
yeah,
I mean, as she should.
and then he's
And then
everywhere.
he's traveling.
And I think that he's like I bet it's too much for him.
Yeah.
Like the whole Jenner Kardashian thing
Or maybe
is a lot.
he like caught a glimpse of you
Oh,
one time
maybe.
and was like, that one blonde got
Maybe.
away.
You know what I think if he saw me, he'd be like, "Oh, she's my bro." Like she would be
He'd be
I
like,
don't think he would lust
did
after
you get my
me.
beanie? You remember my beanie?
I think that he would be like, "Oh man, she's somebody that I can like really high five with."
Mm.
Do you know it's like there's a National High Five Day and I can't wait for it so we can high five all day together.
Yikes.
Missy's like number one high
My
fiver.
my odd high five.
They're the
My
best. They're the best high fives ever.
it's the swoop, the curved swoop up, swoop up.
It's the best.
It's just what I do, baby.
I love this episode. It makes me really happy. I
Good,
think
me
it's because I
too.
had a show sheet and last time I didn't.
Yeah. We'll do your show
This
sheet.
is my only type A type.
Did anybody send any questions in?
I don't know. We'll look. All right. That's a wrap if it's a wrap for you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Peace out. Oops, a daisy.